week for that. And Julian, cheers, mate. If there's anything else, if you want to jump into anything along the way, feel free to jump into anything else along the way.
No worries, and thanks for the time, Paul. Thanks everybody for listening.
Cheers. So next up is Shukri. Shukri is our cryptocurrency expert. Shukri, we'll pick up from you from earlier. What's coming up in the crypto market? As I was saying, I'm hearing stories of a little bit of Bitcoin weakness to come. What are your thoughts?
Okay, let's share the screen again, and I'll show you my thoughts. So we're going to cover Bitcoin forecast, Bitcoin trading strategy. Let me share you now. Okay, we continued just now. So clearly, I think, Paul, people were quite worried that it would challenge this. It obviously has cleared it. We're well on our way up. So I think it goes up, and the resistance is somewhere here, 11.3. Now, why do I say 11.3? Because there's the Fed on Thursday, or Malaysia is Thursday morning. So that's a concern. And as Julian said, maybe the euro is due for a correction. Again, remember, guys, whenever Bitcoin goes up, dollar index goes down, and vice versa. And this is very important, even if you are Bitcoin trading and you're a beginner, okay? This is so crucial. So once it gets through this, let's look what happens on the sentiment cycle. It goes up like a rocket, but still, this is theory. We have to check what happened in the past. And let me show you what happened in the past, because this is the third cycle of halving, where the rewards for Bitcoin go down. So Paul, instead of inflation, Bitcoin is actually deflationary, okay? This is in reverse to another set of tokens now, which is the hottest thing in crypto now. Paul, you've heard of it. It's called DeFi. DeFi is different. Yep. It's inflationary. I know this is weird. You guys will get this, okay, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But, you've heard of crypto being deflation, cutting out the rewards, and then you have suddenly being turned over by some inflationary tokens. So like Julian said, there's some wacky things happening in the options market in the US. There's some wacky things happening in the crypto market too. So you look at this is 2012, 2013. Look what happens after it breaks off the high. It goes straight up like a rocket in 9 months. And remember, there's something like a triangle here too. Look what happened in 2017, 2018, and there's something like a triangle here too. Once we go through that high, once we challenge that and beat it, 9 months going high. So guys, the thing to look for now and it will probably be around next year, look for something around 19 to 20K. Because once it surpasses that, remember this, it's going to go up for another 9 months, just straight like a rocket. And then what do? We dump. Don't forget that, okay? Once you're there, please just dump it. That's it, okay? So that's in Bitcoin. So that's the Bitcoin forecast, Bitcoin trading strategy. Now, what about for crypto trading? You guys have to remember that there are two markets here, the Bitcoin market and the crypto market. And the crypto market in general, what we call the altcoins, are defined by Ethereum, because Ethereum is used for DeFi. And you look at the key levels that I've drawn out here. So I'm going to go to the daily chart. Okay, we broke that critical level of around 360. And we went up to 305. And guess what? Even I was quite surprised. It just blasted past it again. So this shows that there's something going on with the sentiment. People are taking risk now. In fact, to me, people are taking unreasonable type of risk, but I think everyone is betting on inflation, and I'm glad to the two things that make me very happy today, Paul. First, you said that is considered filling the gap. Thank you very much. Now I'll go in with confidence. The next thing is Julian said, we might have 4 or 5 years of this inflation thing. The only thing I'm worried, Paul, about this is I would make too much money. 4 or 5 years is a long time in crypto. Okay, that would be too much money, but let's see how it goes. That makes me very, very happy.
Things, Shukri, people of my generation, we're just used to living in an inflationary world, and we know how to make money from it. And look, it's not very complicated. You just buy stuff in an inflationary world. You honestly, it's hard to think what you can buy that's not going to go up in an inflationary world. And a lot of the younger investors at the moment have lived in a sideways inflation period, or a very slow inflation period. And they work a lot harder for their money. But in all honesty, you're right, Shukri. If we're going to have 5 years of inflation, we really should better pick up some money on some indices, some Bitcoin, some commodities. All of those things should be, if we're going to have 5 years of inflation, they're all going to be at double what they are now 5 years from now. And we will happily jump in and take a bit out of that, no trouble at all, right?
Great one. So Paul, this was in the 70s, right? Because I was very small then, 70s, early 80s, I didn't know what was going on.
I don't actually remember exactly, but I think they started really curbing inflation in the early 2000s. It's more Julian's thing than mine, but I think they got onto inflation in the early 2000s and started to put all these bans on it. They just started, it's interesting because, it's very, very hard economically. And again, this isn't my area of expertise, but it's very, very hard to control one part of an economy and not others. And to control inflation and presume it's not going to create issues around growth is, it's a bit hard to actually do. And, we'll see what happens when. I'm actually quite pleased to see them focusing on unemployment and reducing the emphasis on inflation. I think it's been too much. I think those bands could have been a little bit wider and they could have been a little more positive about wanting some growth in their economies, as opposed, we're all concerned about international competitiveness, but if you have inflation, your exchange rate, which is floated, will eventually make you internationally competitive anyway. So inflation is not the end of it for you on international competitively. Gosh, I'm talking economics. I don't know why I'm doing that. Shukri, so good times coming for crypto as far as you're concerned.
Very. So look at this. Okay, that's the next resistance for Ethereum. Now let's go one level lower. Okay, we got to see what the market is doing. What are the participants doing? And let me show you something. Look at DeFi. 1st June, there was 1.19 billion locked. It went up to 9 in 2 months. And suddenly it dumped. And now it's going back up again. And then let's go down in
just for others in the room, Shukri, what's DeFi?
Okay, imagine a bank, right? Imagine a bank. A bank gives you like what?
Nothing.
1%. In Malaysia, we give 2. We're kind here, okay? So I'm in the 2% regime.
Right now in the world, banks give you about what they charge you in fees. They give you an interest rate and they charge you in fees, and you're about net for the experience, right?
So if you heard about crypto, it's always been your own bank, right? So you can put crypto in a bank call a DeFi pool, and you earn interest from that. And you know what? This week is all wholly dedicated to DeFi, so don't miss this, okay? Crypto traders, don't miss this on Monday and Wednesday. And as I promised, I'm going to show Geoff's farm on Wednesday. And Wednesday is a key day because I'm going to show you real accounts, okay? You and we will together calculate the interest, and I'm going to show you my strategy there.
Mate, what's this AAVE dominance 18.64%?
Which one?
Next box down.
Aave is one of the dominant coins here. It's actually here, Paul. It's somewhere here. It's Aave. It's actually one of the leading coins. There it is.
Yeah.
70. This coin is something like it goes to 50 cents, just buy it, and it goes back up to 60, 70. So very, very, it's like Bitcoin dominance, where Bitcoin is dominant in the space of crypto. So when it comes to DeFi, it's Aave or YFI or all that.
Okay. You're going to talk DeFi on Monday and Wednesday in some detail.
Don't miss it, because you guys got to hear this. This is like living in a new banking regime now. So let's see what these investors are doing. So this is, the IPO is called an IEO for a coin named Staffy. Now, I want to show you something here. Look, the last token price for private investors was 13. Now, they had an auction this week. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was on Wednesday. They offered it at 21. It was taken up at 21. And then they had another auction, and the bid price was $1. And people took it out at $1. I thought that was crazy. Like, hey, it was 13 cents. Okay, I'll take it at 21. But what business do you have taking up at 5 times the price of the last auction? Would you take it up, Paul? Isn't this insane?
That sounds insane.
That sounds insane. Now, let's look at what happened at Staffy, right? It went up to over $2. Like, hello? So this is like insane. It's like people are buying because, it went up to 228. People are buying because, hey, let's buy because it's going to go up some more.
I've got to say, that's the best reason in the world to buy. Look, a market cap of it's 12 million. Do you think it's been a pump and dump? Do you think some people have pushed it up and sold it out?
Yes, usually for things like this, it will pump, it will dump, and then you can buy it again because this is a very good coin. This is a very good coin. Now, let me show you, Paul, something even more crazy. Now, I didn't go into this. I was
one
waiting.
last thing, Shukri. We've got Ainslie waiting through gold. We've got Roy waiting through currency strength. We've got Geoff waiting through currencies. Going to do some trader chit chat with the team. So, yep.
So don't miss it. Okay. So again, even I'm moving my coins in.
Say Monday and Wednesday. We're also having a day with you, aren't we?
Yes.
26, isn't it? So we're a couple of weeks away,
26.
less than 2 weeks away from having a day with you on crypto where you're going to teach all the crypto basics, right?
Yes, Bitcoin trading for beginners, crypto trading for beginners. And this is for real. You're going to get a real wallet. So we're going to move some real cryptos around because they open on Saturday and Sunday. Crypto is 24/7, 365.
Honestly, mate, I know that sounds wonderful to you, but I just think, well, when do I have a break and sleep if it's open 7 days a week, 24 hours? When's my rest time if that's the case? Mate, is there one last thing from you?
That's it.
We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Cheers, mate. Look forward to your show on Monday and Wednesday. We'll talk to you again next Sunday as well. And look forward to the full day on the 26th where we introduce our people to cryptocurrency. That is a good thing. Look,